What's
Good
up?
evening, gentlemen. How are y'all doing?
How's it going?
Doing good. Grant's
Cheers.
changed a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't have Grant tonight. He's on assignment out checking out some farms and stuff. Yeah, he's out. Like, we just talked to him 30 seconds ago, and he's out in fresh air just having a ball. So, kudos to you, Grant. He's going to be watching this after the fact. We all miss you, man. But we do have Mr. Chris Yank Your Crank with us tonight. He's going to be filling in for Grant. How you doing there, sir? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Doing good. I am creative. Basically just makes fishing lures and go fishing. That's pretty much the gist of my channel. I'm just a fisherman that enjoys doing hobbies and filming and creating baits and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So Chris is one of the old guys. He's one of those few channels you're going to hear about who was monetized and then went through the whole adpocalypse thing and got demonetized and had to go redo the whole new requirements and stuff like that. Still hammering out content for what, like 10 years now?
Yeah, I think I'm on 11 or 12 now. It's pretty. I don't know. It's been a long time though. Yeah.
So, and awesome stuff. So yeah, you're going to see on his channel, and we got a link in the description for anybody who's checking this out after the fact. Got a link in the description for Yank Your Crank. Awesome fishing channel. One of the first friends that I made along the way. Now you're doing some fishing lures, and you're doing you're doing some shorts and showing people how you're building your lures and stuff.
Yeah, so
yeah, I see how he builds lures.
Yeah. That video was great. That was fantastic. I built a Twinkie bait for WTF. Mike asked me to commission me to build a Twinkie bait, and so I did, and that was part of the video. It was like a spoof type thing, but yeah.
Awesome.
No, I built quite a bit of stuff. This is but like let me see if I can get this into.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's my little swamp rat.
Nice.
And I've got like, I don't know, I built a bunch of stuff. This is most recent on the channel. It's a bowling ball buzzbait or bowling pin bowling ball buzzbait.
Which, if you haven't seen it yet, if you're checking out Yank Your Crank channel, it's like his most recent video. Unless I think you may have uploaded one today.
No, I uploaded short, but as far as full length videos, that's my most recent right now.
Okay, worth checking out.
But yeah,
it's a good video. So yeah, he made a bowling pin lure, and then so it's like in typical YouTube fashion, he's making a bowling pin lure and throwing it out there. But then he's like actually at a really good fishing spot and is just blowing it up.
A monster, absolute monster, just kills it. It was so bad. This is 3mm wire. It's like really hard to bend, but the fish that we caught had no problem just bending it in half. So yeah, but I do a bunch of different stuff. I've made like different baits over the years. This is my very first ever swim bait. It was wood for years when I was showing it off, and I finally completed that and got it.
Yeah, that looks nice, man. Gorgeous work.
Got it going, but yeah, so I just make baits. I have fun doing it. I come up with wild stuff. I've got a couple ones coming up that are going to be really interesting. It's different than what most people would expect, so the more wild, and if I can catch something on it, the better for me, because it just makes me laugh every time.
Yeah. I like that. That's what it's all about too, is being able to get a good, genuine laugh. Like that Twinkie video, I pulled that up, and it was like going through your videos. And I remember, I don't remember what it was, but you had one, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago that just, it stuck out for me for the longest time. Do you remember which one that was? Because I know I talked about it.
Yeah, it was Frank Pelosa. Frank Pelosa. It was the...
yes, that's what it was. Yes.
I did a infomercial over these patented socks that were better for hook sets.
Yeah.
And so if you bought these socks, they were... And yeah, that was a goofy deal. But I spent a lot of time editing on that one, which was kind of funny because I was trying to make it feel like a real, like 1990s infomercial.
Mm-hmm.
Like the slow like cuts and the pan, like just different stuff, you know. But it was fun. That was a good time. I haven't done any like that since, though. I need to.
I would agree. I think you need to.
I need to come back with some of that stuff for sure.
So, getting all caught up here, John. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been able to hang out, man. How have you been? What have you been up to?
Been a while. I've been busy, not doing anything fishing related.
Okay,
A
acceptable.
lot of time with the granddaughter, the new granddaughter.
Nice.
A little bit of boat work. Got a part in that I was going to install, and there's issues with it, so I had to send it back, and so I'm waiting for them to get it right and send it back to me. And then I got a little action camera sent to me. They wanted me to do a review on, so I start working on that this week.
I don't know why I don't get the cool reviews on stuff like that. I've got one that I'm working on right now for a meat thermometer, which I despise. I totally hate the idea of a cell phone thermometer on my meat. Like I love to barbecue, and I believe that there's a skill set in building the fire. Like I don't use lighter fluid. I build like a little pyramid, all Boy Scout style. And I think that there's like a skill in like knowing exactly, like you get a feeling for exactly how well cooked that meat is by the amount of time it's on there, and all these different things. And having a thermometer that plugs into your phone to me is just like technology. That's exactly what I'm trying to get away from.
See, I love it. I love to be able to put that brisket on my grill, put a thermometer in it, and if something goes on with the temperature, like when it's time to wrap it or something, my alarm goes off. I'm in bed because it's going overnight.
That's
my
what he
ass up,
says.
get out there and get to work on it.
I do like the sound of doing it overnight, and it is nice to actually have some numbers, where it's telling me exactly where it's at. So I'm not going to be unfair. Like I'm going to give the product a real solid, go over, and I'm going to be fair about it. But it's funny because I had a whole argument with my dad just last year where I was like, he got one of those green egg cookers, which I love. And he's got the thing, and he was trying to sell me on it. That was the big thing of last year, was trying to sell us on those thermometers and the whole electronic experience of the barbecue pit. And I was adamant against it. I was like, this is absolutely not. I refuse. I am not about it. And
nice.
Well, no. Don't get me wrong. The green egg is nice. It's kind of the electronics and the like I like being there by the pit. I like to get out of the house. I want to be out in the yard. And to me, that all took away from it. And so I'm arguing against the whole thing with my dad. Like this was multiple conversations that we had where I was finally just like, because he's all about it. I'm like, no, absolutely not. This is sacrilege. And then here I am, like literally probably 8 months later. And I'm like, oh, let's do a review. But I'm going to be fair. I'm going to give it a fair review.
I don't use a thermometer on steaks or ribs or there's certain cuts that they'll tell you internal temperature to cook it to or whatever. After you cook them for several years, you know what you're looking at. I can touch a steak and tell if it's where I want it. You know what I mean? But pork shoulder or brisket, something like that, I want to know internal temps on that.
And for chicken, I do feel the same way. Like chicken's a little bit different ball game.
Yeah, that's true.
Steaks are super easy. Like you can pull that out of the fridge and that's it. That's as warm as you want it. That's as much flame as it needs to touch.
I think Chris is having some problems. We're going to see if you can get back in here with us.
It looks like he's working on it.
Yeah.
Chris, if you're listening in, man, as soon as you get that going, we'll get you back up, dude. I see you in the room back there.
Just a gray screen for us, though.
It looks like
that's what you've been up to, Stanley.
Editing. So I did I went to the YouTube conference that I go to every year. I was at that all last week.
Ooh. And
it was, man, I got to hang out. It was really cool. I got to hang out with a couple of guys I got a lot of respect for, including some of the guys that y'all might watch, you might be aware of. Hamiltonville Farm, got to hang out with that guy finally. Known him for years. Got to hang out with another up-and-coming creator. His name's Kendall Gray. That guy was really cool. He's like, I don't know, he's like 24 or something, but he's big time, but he's down to earth. Talking about how, like they do their whole channel with his mama and just he's not doing YouTube stuff. He's
our outdoor one.
Yeah, he does a lot of hunting and I think a little bit more hunting, but he also does fishing. And his point, he's that younger generation to where it's, for us, YouTube, like for me, I see a big time YouTuber and I'm like, this is cool. This is unique. It's interesting. Like I got a lot of respect for that guy that's doing this professionally, the entrepreneurialism behind it and everything. But these days it's like, you know, you're 24 years old, 300,000 subscribers. It's not terribly uncommon. It's not like you're going to go walking down the street and people are going to freak out about it.
Right. Well, for us, it was like a new frontier for, you know,
exactly.
We came into it early.
Chris, there he is.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Sorry. So I got a call on my phone and it shut everything down.
Hey.
So I got to get my VPN back so I can go on my computer, use my actual camera and stuff like that again.
Cool.
The phone is not the way to do this.
I completely disagree.
I like doing it from the phone, don't get me wrong, but when I get a call, it like kicks me off or something.
Oh yeah, see, I don't. I saw that. I was wondering if that was updated or not. 142 days.
142 days, baby.
Counting hours.
That's awesome.
Oh man.
What's the day on that again? Is it January 30th?
January 31st is my last.
January 31st. Okay.
Day. Yep.
Yeah. And you're done for good.
Done for good. Second time. I retired from the Army. Now I'll be retiring from civil service working for the Army.
Nice.
And then he's going full-time YouTube. And he's going to be down here fishing.
Nope. Going full-time grandpa, RVing, boat, that stuff. Fishing.
That'll work. I'll accept that.
Nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
So, the topic of conversation for tonight, gentlemen, I kind of want your opinion on this because, so we're YouTubers, and Chris, like, you have gone a little bit harder into like with the shorts and TikTok and stuff like that. You have gone a little bit more sensational and very well done. Like it's in a classy way. It's not like you're, you know, pouring milk all over a gas station and doing a slip and slide kind of stuff. I am not opposed to getting a little bit sensational with content, but I also kind of keep it, you know, it's a little tongue in cheek and stuff like that. John is a little bit old school here. He's not going to be doing that. He's not going to be bouncing off the walls. And that's a thing now. Like, so I read this article. Let me pull up the article here. I wasn't prepared here. It's a new thing. Extreme fishing.
Okay.
Is this thing that the kids are doing.
I read part of it, but it wouldn't let me read the whole article without a membership or some bullcrap.
Yeah, I didn't go past the paywall. I wasn't going to do that either because it looked like a well-written article and all that, but paywalls on the internet just kind of pissed me off, and I don't play that game.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really that's what I was wondering if that's what it was.
So what it is, like basically, it's not. What it is this guy in particular, he's up in Montauk, and he gets in a wetsuit. He goes out at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he swims out into the ocean and fishes for sea bass.
Yeah, there's some kind of rocks out there or something.
Yeah.
That they fish off of.
And he likes to do it during storms. Apparently, this is like the time to catch sea bass is 2 o'clock in the morning in a storm in the Atlantic Ocean. And it's picking up like it's like a trend. And to me, this just screams of like YouTuber.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's what it is. This is for views. It has to be because like nobody in their sane mind would like just go out there swimming where there's fish that can literally take you under.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy extreme sports people though, so you never know.
That is true. That is true. Like, I mean,
I hold nothing against them. I wouldn't do it, especially now. When I was younger, probably still wouldn't have done it.
If he's doing it for sensationalism, it kind of pisses me off because people are going to get hurt trying to play that game. You know.
Well, that's the problem that I have with a lot of this is that like it's one thing to do sensationalize like some like some things like for content that you don't have to worry about like people getting hurt and stuff like that. But there's always the other side to that, and you have to think about that. Like you literally have to think about that. It's like I've seen so many people do so much crazy stuff just for views or whatever, and it's like to me, you're just teaching other people bad habits that they're going to go out then and do, and they may not have the experience you do or the knowledge you do, and they're going to hurt themselves if not kill themselves. That's
just like those doing those pranks on the street.
Yeah.
For the camera, and somebody ends up getting their rear end kicked because they're trying to do a little prank for the camera, and it's well deserved, I think.
Well, there was a very well-known creator that got shot and like literally almost died. He got shot in a mall because they claimed self-defense because he kept coming up to him like fight him.
Yep.
And they were like telling him to get away, and the guy pulled a gun. I mean, it was kind of me. It was unwarranted, but still, I mean, you never know what's going through people's head and what experiences they've been through. So
exactly,
there's definitely a different limit to like that stuff, and I see it a lot more. I see it a lot more now. It seems like even like to me, like if in the fishing world, just to give you an idea, like I've seen so many YouTubers post like it's posted private property, no trespassing, and they still go fish there, and they're like, oh, I'm not worried about it, you know, they won't catch us on here or whatever. Even if it's a place that they have permission on and these signs are for someone else, they're not saying that. And yet, so you've got a bunch of 13 and 14-year-olds looking up to these guys, and they're trespassing on people's property. And I know when I was a kid, I'm just going to be honest, I did a lot of that. And I got shot at with rock salt and buckshot and everything else.
Exactly.
As a kid, you know, and it's just not, it's, I mean, and I don't, that's the thing. I'm not telling anybody to go do that. I'm telling you, don't go do that because it's definitely not the
and you weren't doing it on camera. Back when we were young doing dumb stuff, there were no cameras to capture it.
Yeah, we just did it to do it. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And it's all a story. I've got stories like that too. And so I tell those stories on the podcast that I haven't recorded on in the longest time because it's like I've got like 70 views in that podcast. It's just kind of for fun. My daughter can listen to it if she wants to. I'm not trying to be famous off of a podcast, but like I'm slightly comfortable kind of telling those stories on a podcast that nobody's going to see. But I am not even going to tell stories from 20 years ago. I'm not telling those on YouTube. Not gonna touch this channel.
No, yeah.
Just because of the way that kind of stuff can come around and bite you, even if it's not that big of a deal, it kind of is.
Yeah, I mean, I put that stuff out there just now just to say that I did it in my past and it was wrong and I shouldn't have done it. But at the same time, I don't want to see kids get in trouble for it now because it could be. I mean, it's a little bit different, like especially now. Like
you're right, Ben.
That's why X is a
survivors.
That's awesome.
My granddaughter, when they make her formula for her, because she can't have milk until she's a year old, even though my daughter drank milk days after being born, but it has to be at a certain temperature, bottled water, and it has to go in this thing that warms. If like we used to heat the bottle in boiling water or close to boiling water, put it on your wrist. Oh yeah, it's good. Here, baby, drink. It's ridiculous what they go through. They got a little floaty that you put in the bath water to make sure the bath water is safe for them.
Oh, wow.
We stick our finger in there, and it's like, okay, that's not too hot. I can put the baby in there. You know what I mean? They're taking all common sense out of everything.
Yeah, I disagree with that. So I don't like saying this kind of stuff. I feel like I maybe should because this is just like the world we live in now. But so I lived the majority of my life without a dishwasher. And when we moved into this house, we lived here for like 10 years without a dishwasher. I manually washed the dishes. And now we got one. I got a great deal on one, and we installed it, did the whole thing, and it has been a blessing. It makes life a lot easier. But I do look back and think, those 8-10 years that my daughter grew up without the dishwasher steam treating all the dishes, she got more, pathogens in her system. She has more immunity, and I know that goes into like all kinds of COVID conversation, but she's got more immunity to more stuff as a result of my lack of ability to clean a dish properly.
Well, I mean, like with this guy, for instance, like I feel like maybe it is something he enjoys to do, because there are guys like that. You know, I mean, let's hook a shark and try and go skiing. You know what I mean? Like, or something like that. And it may be that thing, but
yeah, that guy.
That guy
in the storm.
But I have my moments.
But at the same time, like, you know, I think that it needs to be like that there needs to be some like preface going into that saying, look, yes, I love to do this, but this isn't for everybody, and you have to know what you're doing out there.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, you know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the article, and I really haven't like seen anything on this guy, but if I do, I'll definitely watch and see, because he may be doing that. He may be doing that exact thing and letting people know. You know?
I know the article pretty much paints him as a guy who just loves to get out there and face that challenge of going out there in the waves in that wetsuit and fish. I don't even know if he had YouTube or anything. They didn't say anything about any kind of social media or anything.
I didn't see that. I am assuming it's there now in that picture that he had. So I don't see a GoPro. Let me say one thing though. Just something that caught my attention right before we started. I was looking at this. I was pulling it up and everything. And this is a very dramatic photo and everything for this article. But I want to give mad props and a huge pat on the back to everybody here and everybody in the chat and everybody in the Discord server who likes to post pictures, because this is blurry as shit. And that is bullshit that this is a photo for a professional like article. That's crap.
Saying our people take better photos than that, huh?
Yeah, I am. I like this is, dude, like this. I did this with a GoPro, like out there fishing in those conditions. Like that's me taking a photo of myself. This guy, he had a photographer who couldn't get a clear picture.
Now, I've got a question though, just out of curiosity, because I tube fished back in the day, you know, and tube fishing in itself was hard enough because you had to have kickers on, or you had to have something to be able to control yourself, right? So when he gets a fish on, how exactly does he get that fish in?
So I thought about that too. And the reason I brought up this right here is because I do, when I go to the beach, one of the things that I do, and I not necessarily enjoy doing, but I'm forced to do, is I have to swim out to the next sandbar to really get those baits out where they need to be. So I'm doing a similar thing, I'm assuming, as to what that guy's doing.
He's just doing it on rocks instead of sandbars.
Exactly. I'm assuming that's what the case is. Like I will swim that, John's seen it, I swim that rod a pretty good ways out. And I will loose the bail, and I'll head back to the beach and sit on the beach. And I don't drink beer necessarily when I'm out there. I wish I did. It'd be a more fun experience, but I kind of relax and kick back a little bit.
I see what you're saying. So he's just, that's how he gets his bait out there to the fish. He goes out to the rock pile, casts out maybe, and then swims back or whatever. Or maybe you find something from the rock pile.
He might.
I assume. And if he's sitting out there on it, so I've done that where I've sat on the sandbar. I kind of feel like that's stupid, especially if he's swimming. I think that's stupid. But maybe he's doing that and he's got little flippers and he's able, what he's doing is if he catches a fish, then he's definitely, I'm assuming, lifting the bail, swimming back to shore, and then fighting the fish like a rubber duck.
Could be.
Yeah, because I mean, like, to me, like that to me just screams like, I don't know. There's a lot of big things in the ocean that like to eat each other.
That's what
you have them on the hook, you know.
Kind of like the person writing the article went with him, right, one day, because it starts out this person talking about himself getting washed off the rocks and then tried to get back and washed again, and then he had to swim to another shore closer in. So he was the one that went with them and got beat up by it. But he said this guy was hanging on the rock, didn't, come off the rock when the waves hit him. So I don't know. It's crazy.
I mean, it's one of those things. I think that like it would make for great content. No doubt about it. Like, people will watch that just to see what happens next.
Yes, I do. I feel like it screams content. Like it screams like he's got just the most epic Instagram account.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because you know, if he catches anything big out there off of that, that's going to be, you know, it's going to be a fight for him to stay under the rocks and not drown. And
when I was younger, when I was in like high school, surfing was my thing. Like for years, surfing until I couldn't, you know, medical issues and stuff like that got me into where I had to go fishing instead of surfing. Surfing was the thing. So when I was paddling out at these surf spots that we were at, my dad was fishing, and we would hook his bait on the back of my surfboard, and I would paddle it out for him. That's how I learned how to do that. And so I see this dude, and all I see is like, man, I wish I just had my bait tied to his back. Like, I just want the hook rubber banded to his leg. You know, I want to hook whatever's going for that bobber. Anything for the algorithm, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Dude, that's what, like, everything just seems like it's algorithm based. And maybe it's not. Like, maybe this is just something that the dude enjoys doing. Like, I don't go around advertising that I swim out to the sandbar. I talked about it, but I'm not going to hide it. But I also don't want to encourage people to do that. It can be very dangerous. And so maybe the dude is just doing that, and he came across a guy who saw a cool thing and wrote an article. Entirely possible, maybe blown out of proportion, but I just saw this and I was like, dude, like that just seems like such a TikTok thing to do. Just stood out to me. Another topic of conversation, John. So you brought up, I wasn't able to read this because it's on Facebook and I refused to do Facebook.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to fill us in on the story on this, but basically, so some people on Pottery Island got in trouble for wasting fish.
Yeah. So what they ended up finding, the park ranger, Texas Parks and Wildlife, some marine biologists, they all worked together on the thing. But there was a tiger shark with the head removed, large tiger shark, a large bull shark with the head removed, mutilated stingray, and several crabs that were not all like cut up or anything, but just dead. And so that was their evidence. And they found the individual who said, yeah, that was me. And so I don't know, he was getting fines, right? They're trying to figure out what he has to pay for the life of the two sharks. And really what he was charged with was wanton waste of game animal. In other words, if he had just taken the sharks, cut them up and ate them, right? But he just left them laying there on the beach after beheading them.
Got jaws.
And that, for shark guys, they already get a bad rap no matter what, because everybody thinks every shark in the world is protected. You can't catch sharks, and it's not true. There's some, but there's several sharks here in Texas, at least, where you can actually keep and eat. And sharks are fun to hook, good fight, and you get them off, and they survive, right? So those folks who shark fish get a bad rap a lot of times. This doesn't help that rap.
Okay, so it begs the question, what's his TikTok handle?
I was waiting, because usually when they, I guess maybe he wasn't convicted yet or something, because usually when they catch somebody, Texas Parks and Wildlife, they'll give a name, right? Caught, so-and-so doing this or that. And they never gave a name. I was hoping they would, because I was going to do some searching, because they're a YouTuber or TikToker or something. But
I'm always afraid seeing that, because I'm like, oh, is this going to be one of my guys? Do I have to make an apology video?
I was going to make a joke about it when we got on here about, hey, Stanley, I wanted to ask you about something. Is this you?
Your first thought was it's me. It's not me. I'd have eaten it. I'd have eaten all of it.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, most people that fish down there, they know you don't do shit like that. So I get a feeling it was some kind of couple of wild ass noobs from up here in San Antonio or somewhere went down there. We're going to shark fish, and then caught a couple sharks and said, "Hey, I want the jaws," and left the rest of the shark to rot. So,
but I don't understand. Like, what's the point of that? Do they get money for the teeth, or like what?
They had nice
trophies,
shark jaws put on bookcase or something. That's it.
That's silly. You can buy those at the store for
You can.
But you're doing it for the algorithm, man.
Yeah.
You know, you catch yourself a 10-foot tiger shark, you got those jaws in your wall, dude.
That's one video I wouldn't post.
Well, it's like
true.
speaking about the fine stuff you were just talking about, John. I read a story about an alligator, 11-foot alligator in Fort Worth in the river system, and I guess a couple years ago these guys killed this alligator, and that alligator actually was like 11 foot. It was a big alligator, but they killed it, and so the fine, like what you're talking about, I've never heard of this before, but I guess they fine it per year, like how much it would be worth. And they ended, because it was over 10 foot, like if it'd been under 10 foot, they only would have had to pay like $1,000, $2,000. But because it was over 10 foot and not very many of them get like that, they were saying that they got fined over $5,000 for it. Like, what?
That's crazy.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. With a shark, how many babies could the shark have in a lifetime? Blah, 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 blah. You know, it all adds up.
Yeah.
It hurts when you hear about these guys. And I know, like, I get where they're at. Like, I understand, and I have no, like, ill regard for the guys doing it when they do it right. But these shark fishermen, so shark fishing has blown up down here the last couple of years. Everyone and their mother has got a shark rig. They've all got jet skis or drones dropping baits. Like, it makes it hard during tournaments to catch a shark because there are hundreds of people that you're competing against now. And it's every now and then you have these guys who it happens about once a year. Somebody hooks into like a 14-foot hammerhead, and that shark cannot handle that fight. It's like if you fight that shark for more than 45 minutes, and sometimes it's some guy who just has, he saved up, got a $2,000 reel. His buddy's got a jet ski. They got the bait out there. They were physically able to get in front of a 14-foot hammerhead, but they weren't physically able to make that a 10-minute fight. And if you're fighting that shark for an hour and a half or an hour, it's like that shark just can't handle it. It's so sad to see it, but they always die. Like they in those circumstances, it's not everyone doing that. But it's just really sad to see when that happens. But it's also not terribly common. Like the guys are actually the real shark fishermen who are doing that stuff. As much as they get in my way and that pisses me off and I can't win a shark tournament to save my life, they're actually doing a pretty good job about what they do.
Yeah, they are.
That's something I one of these days I want to get down and try and catch one. That sounds a lot of fun.
You got a kayak, so you and me, yin and yang, we got everything we need to make that happen.
Well, I've got drones too. I'll fly that thing out there with a little drop thing and just drop.
Shark fishing, you can drink beer for that because that can take a little while. So
I'm going to show you. This is I haven't showed this to anyone yet. This is new. But I don't know.
That's awesome.
So that is
zombie, huh?
And these are resin casted. So like I have the mount, I have everything ready for them. They're eventually going to be up for sale. I haven't shown anybody that yet, though.
That's pretty cool.
I'm going to have to commission you for a heavy duty lure. I need something for my uncle's boat for the big sharks.
Oh, I'll send something to you. Definitely.
We're going to have to talk because I need something special commissioned. Like I need a miniature me or something I could try.
That's awesome.
Good question, Aeon. I don't think you don't have to buy a trolling motor or install a trolling motor. I mean, it depends on how you're going to use it and how you're going to fish. Trolling motors can make it easier, right, and make things better for you. But there's nothing saying you have to or need to.
You don't have to. I've got a little 2-man right over here that I go out in all the time, and like sometimes it's a pain to put the trolling motor in it, so you just get paddles and paddle around depending on the body of water. You know, now if you have a lot of wind, I would say that trolling motor does make it exponentially easier. But I would also say too, if you're going to go for a trolling motor, don't go to a store and look at those prices to buy one. Go on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and hit them up. All you need is like a 30-pound thrust. That'll get those little boats around just fine. So, and really, I mean, like especially like if you're pond hopping or you're doing small bodies of water. Now, if you're going to a bigger body of water, you might want to get like a 55 pound. I don't think you need any bigger than that. I've been out on lakes that are, I mean, the last lake I took that thing out on, I put them on really dangerous lakes though, so don't follow what I'm saying. But like the last lake I put that out on, it was like 7,000 acre lake, and but I had 55 pound thrust and it did fine. So I feel like that's acceptable. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that. I'd be comfortable with that.
Yep.
I'd be comfortable with just doing it with some paddles, man. Just.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's got a canoe. We've never used it for fishing up in Waco, but always kind of wanted to. It's easy enough.
It's a mess, but that's my little 2-man over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Sun Dolphin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I got that. I got that about a year or so ago. I've got the John boat still that I'm still messing with, but that's just it is so much work transforming those into a bass boat. It's like it's not easy.
I've been having some issues. I'll save you guys the whole story on that. I've been having some issues with my John boat I've been working on as well. Paperwork, man.
Did you ever get that Tohatsu motor or no?
I did. Yeah, I've got the motor. I've had it for a year and a half. It's still in the freaking box because of. I'll just say this: we had a little night where we were drinking, and the title exchanged hands, but I don't know what hands it went into.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's the first rule around here. If they're selling a boat and don't have the title, don't do it because it's a nightmare.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I got given a John boat off of a set that I worked on, and they gave me this little 14-foot John boat, and I was like, "Oh, this little flat bottom is going to be great." I got it, and then I was like, "I'll just get it tagged and registered and all that stuff." And I went to do so, and they explained to me that I have to go to the court system. And they have to check it and make sure it's not stolen first. And that's $125. And then like I go to the court and then the judge will look over everything and he can deem it yes or no, but it may take up to a month to do so. And then that's another $500 to have the judge do that. And by that time, like you're looking at the cost of like one of those boats, like you can go to the store and buy it. It's like, this is silly.
yeah. Yeah, that's
Crazy.
yeah. I've got I was speaking to, and I'm not done with this conversation yet, but there's a company down here called Freedom Boat Club to where you can rent, or not rent, but you can be a member of their club and then just take out one of their boats whenever you want. Yep. And it's expensive, but man, when weighing the costs of boat ownership, I'm like, oh, like I can't afford it. But if I could afford it, I could see how that is more valuable than owning like a new boat.
There's another one. I have to, let's see if I've got the website. I seen it the other day. I forgot how I seen it. It was advertised. Oh, it was those two twin girls that got a YouTube channel fishing. They were captains and all that. Really
Gale Force Twins?
Huh?
Gale Force Twins?
Yes. So one of their videos, they went to Bahamas or something. They're talking about, if you can't afford your own boat, you can rent a boat from this place. And I can't find it now. I'll try to find it later. But I went on there and I'm looking at boats here in San Antonio, just like I could rent my boat out too. You could just rent my boat or whatever, So along the coast, and I'm looking at, so for a day of fishing, $400 something to rent a boat at the coast. And I'm not paying insurance every month. I'm friends with boats, yes. I'm not paying insurance every month. Boats at work, that's the problem. I'm not working on a boat all the time. I'm not making boat payments. To me, in some instances, that might be a good deal. Just go rent a dang boat. All over Corpus Christi, to any of our lakes, when I was looking at, there's boats, bass boats, pontoon boats, all kinds of boats. Whatever you can think of.
Is that? Do you need a membership to that, or is that something you can just go
No.
rent the damn boat?
No, you just rent straight from the place. I know I
Yeah,
saved,
I need to know what that is because I'll be renting boats left and right.
I know I saved it, and I'll try to find it and put it in the.
Speaking of which, we
And
need to
down
get
below.
Gelfer's twins on here.
That'd be
That
awesome.
would be cool,
Are they too big for us?
maybe.
Let me
But
look.
their whole story is pretty amazing. Get ready to be doctors and stuff, and decide no, we don't want to do that.
They're
When I
not
was-
too big for no. They're not too big for us just yet.
And their
What are
family
you-
didn't fish or anything.
Well, I need to get y'all some baits for sure to test out down there for sure. That's
I need to before you do anything like that. I need to have a talk behind the scenes because I have like a gram requirement on mine.
okay.
I need it to drop fast.
Oh, you need a gram with it? A gram of what?
Well, this is behind the scenes conversation here.
This is another resin glide that I made.
Yeah.
Works. I mean, but yeah,
And I need something like we're gonna have to talk. Like I'm seriously gonna commission like a serious. I need something that can handle like a 400-pound shark. Like we're gonna go to town on this thing. Yeah, it's gonna be for real.
here's the thing. I don't know if there's a bait alive that will handle a 400-pound shark.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, we'll try it. I mean, we'll try and see. You may call me and be like, one bite and that thing was done, but
Maybe, but it'll be worth every penny.
There's the link. Boat setter.
Boat setter, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna pin that. I can't copy.
And it's not just here in Texas, Florida, anywhere. So you travel
Game
somewhere, you get a lakefront house or something on the coast. At least 1 or 2 days, you want to take a boat out. There you go.
Yeah.
The ones I was looking at got fish finders on them, all the bells and whistles, some of them power poles and stuff like that. So pretty cool.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
You might be seeing me on that as early as like this week.
And there's
Wow.
option. Some of them have the option of it's with or without captain. So without, you take the boat and go. With, maybe they got some knowledge of the local area and you have them go out there with you, but it costs a little more if it's with the captain.
Yeah, no, I want no captain.
Yeah.
No paper.
Around here, I wouldn't want a captain.
Yeah,
Well,
if I was on the lake or something, I'd want a captain for sure.
when I was in Fort Worth there, I looked up, like, we were at Granbury. We went to Granbury, Texas, there at Lake Granbury or whatever, and they had boat rentals over there. And I went over and talked to them because I was like, hey, I want a fishing boat, go out and catch bass, whatever. But nobody had fishing boats. They had pontoons, they had ski boats, they had stuff.
In Wisconsin, we've rented pontoons before. You can't get anything with a fish finder.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I need something that I can go and fish. Like I've got a deck that I can throw off of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gentlemen, I don't mean to rush you on this, but it is that time. We're gonna take a look at some photos from the Discord server.
It's time. Let's do it.
Nice.
This is our photos of the week. This is courtesy of the premier fishing and hunting Discord server. If you are not a member, you need to jump in on that quickly. We are very quickly reaching the 2,000 member level threshold thing, and we're going to be celebrating that very soon. There is a link in the description of this video down below. If you're not a member, jump in there so that we can enjoy everything that you do vicariously, when we don't have the opportunity to do it ourselves. So first up is the guys who got outside and just got themselves some fresh air. Gib Noob, professional no fish catcher, Marmot of Malfeasance, which I misspelled, sorry, and Pen is Superior.
Nice. I love the Burger King hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
They were saying in the server, everybody in the server kind of gets the feeling from that picture that dog is about to make a racist statement.
That Jib Noob, that's a cool picture.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's neat.
That's that needs to be like the banner of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah. Amazing. It's just glass.
And check this out. So Big Hit Savage got this. Dude, that dragonfly landed on his finger. And I can't tell if it's attacking his lure or if it caught a minnow.
Yeah, looks like it's got a little minnow or something.
Yeah, it's got something there. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's the catch of the day right there. That's awesome.
Yeah. Now put him on a hook and you'll catch something too.
Yeah, exactly. That's Rachel's turducken of freshwater fishing right there. Get a hook through that minnow and the dragonfly.
Nice. That's awesome.
Oh man, pretty perch.
Wow. There's several fish there that I'd like to catch I've never caught. That's awesome.
That crappie's good looking too.
Is that a muskie or a pike right there?
I think that's a pike up there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, somebody here has a chain pickerel, and I don't know the difference between a northern and a
to me, chain pickerel and pike are the same thing.
They're the same pretty much, I feel
Yeah.
like. I found out that there's a place that you can catch tiny chain pickerel in Oklahoma. It's only one place, it's only one county that they catch them, and like the state record is like 1.6 pounds.
Oh, you need to go for that.
But I need to go check it out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's one of those records that you can just raise that thing in an aquarium until it's record length and then go out there and put them on a hook.
Oh Lord!
Don't
do this at home, children.
Sienna and G Llama putting in good time on the water there.
What is that top center? It's hard to tell.
That's a dreadnought.
Oh Jesus!
Dreadnought shark. He's one of our moderators. He's out of Australia, so he gets the stuff.
I would dread seeing him.
The thing does look pretty gnarly. Like, I'm gonna be honest with its mouth.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Not a purty one.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So Taco Boy there just set the record for the biggest carp in the server.
Yeah, that's amazing. Huge carp.
A nice looking smallmouth down there too.
Oh yeah. So Brown Trout Professional, that dude's one of those guys who likes to get out there and really get into some good fish.
Nice fish. For sure.
Of course, Gone Fishing. Congratulations on the first smallie there.
Awesome.
Very nice. Ooh, there you go.
Brown Trout.
Man.
Wow.
He's catching all the fish.
Oh yeah.
Bass, everything.
Later on, just send me a link to what you're using there. No, I'm just
Right.
And the exact Google Maps of where you're at.
Yeah,
Well,
where
I
you're at,
think-
what time of day
I
it
see
was.
a fly rod in his hand right there in one of the pics.
He loves fly fishing. Yeah, he's a fly
That's
fisherman.
some of the catches he's got.
Some really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Dark Soldier's pike over there, I believe that's the server record.
Nice.
That is, I'm gonna be honest. That's a beautiful fish. Like just the markings and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He stands out more.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's like, yeah, I like that. Wow.
There's a big old carp up there.
Big old carp. Yeah.
We got some, I don't know if it's a time of year thing or what's going on, but we've got a lot of big carp in the server right now.
Big hit savage. That bass, I like that coloration on it. It's real dark back, like a lot of grass, I guess, or whatever, but it's really, really dark.
He is always catching fish.
Yeah, it's not even like, I don't even do that dude justice. We could do an entire slideshow on his catches alone.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he tears it up on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Are those two up top? Are those shad or suckerfish, or what are those?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they're suckerfish of some kind, like not like creek chubs, but like some kind of combination of carp, shad. You know.
Yeah, it's weird looking.
So
Yeah.
he's out of the Mediterranean area.
Okay.
So I have a hard time judging what he's getting. And he's also one of those guys. So his entire thing is just trying to catch quantity of species. So I never have any idea half the time, like what it is he's getting his hands on.
He
That's
could have all
awesome.
kinds of records in the server. No one
He
else
could
can
be if he was putting tape on him. I would have him set up on his own like little section.
Is that a smallie down there below the big corp?
Looks like it.
It does. That's pretty smallie right there.
Yeah, I think it is.
EVR is saying he thinks those are baby carp. Gunpoint was saying the same thing. He thinks that
Mirror
Species Seeker, those are baby carp.
Okay.
He's the one that managed to hook into a mullet a couple weeks ago. Like, I don't even know how he did that.
Ooh, that trout's pretty. Spanish
Yeah.
mackerel.
Okay, there's some stuff that I don't know what it is, Stanley. You're gonna have to help me out here. Like, if there's one that's a greenish blue with a brown back, that thing's awesome. What is that?
That's a ribbon fish, and
Yeah.
it's reflecting the color of his shirt because they're real shiny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like silver, shiny silver. Chrome is what they look like when you have one.
Mhm.
Nice. That's awesome. That's
They're
beautiful.
used for bait too because they're so shiny.
Yeah.
I can see that brown trout's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful fish.
That I'm covering up his name. EVR. There he is. EVR, good to see you, man. You got perfect timing, dude.
A lot of pretty fish.
And Lithuania Fisher, I don't know if that's a hake or what he got down there. Lithuania, you guys doing it a little bit different than what we're doing.
And some beautiful
Ben,
fish in that one.
I haven't tried that yet, man, but I know when and where to get them, and I'm going to try. I'm going to try that out.
Oh, good Lord.
Eating the
Love
rib.
to eat ladyfish.
Got to try everything once.
I did.
So shiny.
Another big East Coast YouTuber that I watch, mainly kayak offshore, and he's eating them. So,
I mean, I feel like that would be good if you caught a bunch of them because you could make like fajita meat out of them.
I can see that.
it depends on how bony they are because some of those fish that are shaped like that, just thousands of bones in their meat.
Oh, yeah.
Ladyfish being one of them.
Wild Japan says it's home to grocery store.
Huh.
That's,
Yeah, but they sell all kinds of crazy stuff in Japan.
could you
True.
potentially pressure cook it?
Thought about that one. I've thought about doing that with skipjack, and I've abandoned the idea because it just doesn't even matter. Like on skipjack, they're
Just
so
bad.
mushy. It's like I don't even want to try. I don't even care.
So,
just give me the damn bones.
That's
Bones ain't even the first
ladyfish. Now, the guy that I watch, the East Coast fisherman, he'll eat ladyfish. What he does, though, is he fillets it, and then he takes a spoon and scrapes the meat from it.
I've
And for
heard
some
that.
reason, it leaves all the little bones behind, and he has just the meats. And then he makes like some type of patty type
Patty.
thing with breading and all that.
Huh.
My
And-
Uncle
and
Perry
fries.
keeps telling me to do the same thing.
So there's a way to do it.
Like salmon patties.
Yeah,
have to
exactly.
I don't
Nice.
want to, but I'll try it.
Exactly.
Fine, whatever. I do not want to do that. Skipjack is the worst.
He does it every like once or twice a year, and
What is that?
they're good. Which
What is
one?
it? It looks like a striper with purple on its belly.
I think
Yeah.
that's a white bass, and somebody has a purple light underneath, like they're fishing.
Oh,
at
I
night or
see.
something.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
So Gunpoint Llamas, he was with us not last week, 2 weeks ago. He does a YouTube channel called the Iowa Fisherman,
okay.
and he does a lot of fishing at night when he's after work, and so because it's nighttime and hard to get pictures, he's playing with putting lights out to do like colored lighting and stuff like that to give you a little bit more of like a unique experience.
That's
and
cool.
I saw that and I was like, this is cool. We're seeing him doing this. So
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a neat idea.
man, that carp is massive.
It is.
Yeah, that carp's massive.
Yeah.
All those fish are like there's some really good fish on there.
He's another one that's just
Always out there.
just bags and bags of fish out like every day after work.
It's amazing.
Very
So-
blessed. You need to be very thankful for what you get to do, man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I get to go out once a week, I'm really happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
Oh wow.
Oh man,
That's
I've seen those before, but I don't remember what they're called. The crazy looking one over there.
oak pull off.
Queenfish.
Say again.
Queenfish.
Queenfish.
That's
That thing's crazy looking.
well, I mean, like all these are cool to me because I have a fascination with fish anyways. I have a saltwater fish tank and I've always
Right.
loved the ocean. I love fish in general. It's just like seeing that stuff is really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Very cool.
One of the things I love about this server is so much fun is we do these photos every week, and it's like you've got some dude in North Carolina posting a picture of redfish, and you've got some guy doing a picture of a dreadnought shark in Australia, and
Yeah.
it's just like all over the world. You got Wild Japan out there in Japan doing his thing.
Get to see new stuff every week of like
And we're all doing it together. Like it's all like we all have. This is all what everybody did on the same weekend.
It's awesome. Is that a what are they called? The yellow belly ones, the catfish, the mud.
We used to call them bullheads, but that's way
Bullhead.
too big.
That's what I was gonna ask. Bullhead. Is that a bullhead?
It looks kind of like it, but man, if that's a bullhead, that's a huge bullhead.
That's what I was just fixing to say. That is a monster bullhead. That's
Yeah.
like, if that's what that is like a record bullhead. That thing.
Right. Might just be a big old fat channel, but
Well, up north they have bullhead, and it's funny, John. I recently met somebody, and they were showing me pictures of one of the bullhead they caught. It was like 7-something pounds, and they said the record's like 8 pounds up there. I was like, what?
that's crazy.
Those are massive. It's like we don't have those. We have flathead and channel cat and all the other stuff,
Right.
We just have hard heads here.
No, you got gaff tops too.
We got gaff,
Oh,
which is like a big hard head.
Look at that flounder.
Whoa, golly,
That's his PB flounder, if I'm not mistaken.
that's awesome.
Tristan's
Also,
got, a
it's
nice,
a server record flounder.
Tristan's got a nice trout down there too.
Yeah.
What is that up at the top? Is that Australia? Is that what is that?
Yes, Carlos is out of New Zealand or something.
Okay. Yeah, it
Monster.
don't look like it's from here.
That is
And we say that every week. He always posts that one picture.
Yeah.
He ends up in the as a finalist, and we're always like, I don't know what the hell that is, but it's a good picture. It's a cool looking fish. And
Well,
he
what
says
about
it's
it?
Murray cod.
Murray
Murray.
cod. Yes, that's what I was just fixing to say. It's funny when I started out on YouTube and I started doing all the challenges and stuff with my baits. One of the main places that went was Australia a lot, and so I was constantly getting people that were sending me pictures of Murray cod every day, all day, and they're kind of like bass in a way. It's the way they describe them with the aggressiveness of them. They're really aggressive fish. They'll blow up top water. They use whopper ploppers and all sorts of stuff to catch them.
Yeah, that 19 inch, that looked bigger than 19 inch, but yeah, that's a nice one. That's the way to hold it right there, Ben.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Look at that bass too. Pickles got.
Yeah, big old mouth on it.
Yeah,
Trick-
Pickles, that is a stud, dude. For the record, you got a good one there.
That's a good one. Juice with a gun. I love that trout. That color is just like nice.
Yeah.
It's a steelhead or a rainbow.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's beautiful. Like that's the thing about that like rainbows and brooks and I mean I don't think it's hard to beat those fish as far
yeah,
as
colors.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
do agree. I
Nice
agree.
brown
Those are some of the
trout.
prettiest
Brooks are our
fish
favorite,
out
but
there.
brown trout, yeah.
There we go. Is that a guard?
Yeah.
He's got a guard down there in the bottom.
Yep.
That is a decent guard. Honestly, like that's awesome.
Is that a gar? Or does he have fish
Oh,
grip?
you know what? It's he's holding it. It's a pike. He's holding with the fish
Fish
grips.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was like,
Yeah.
I thought it was a long-nosed gar. I was like, man, that looks like a long-nosed gar, kind of, but the coloration was a little off. But yeah, that's
I had to make it big so I could see it.
Jackson's tearing it up with just that whole table full of stripers.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, Ben's doing halibut next week.
Nice.
Yeah, we need. Hey, you need a lot of good pictures for that, and we may need to pull you onto the stream to talk about that. That's going to be cool.
Heck yeah.
That would be really cool.
Definitely.
And we got Pug Attack, and
that's awesome. He caught a butterfly.
Easy.
A puffer. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is really cool. He got a butterfly. Like, who catches that? That's awesome. If you catch some more, let me know to send them to me live. I'll put them in my tank.
Right? Oh, hey, you know, speaking of, we can get those down here. If you need some for your aquarium, I've got a spot we can go to.
Man, I'm coming down. Not cheap.
Truman's saying that, yeah, those are pike that he was getting up there in Canada last week.
Oh, nice.
Congrats, man. Good catch. All of them.
Amazing.
And saying he got a little cuda.
Yeah, that's that baby cuda up there in the top right.
That is awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's catching it. I wonder if he's fly fishing for those.
Man, I don't remember, but he's one of those ones that likes to collect just a ton of species.
That's cool. What's that guy that does a lot of that? Philly Fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Philly Fishing does a lot of that, and I've followed him forever. But yeah, he's like, it's interesting. He does that too.
I like that. You get to see a bunch of cool, different things.
Yeah. Those are some good fish. Everybody's catching like really good fish and putting them up.
Dude, yeah, we took a week off, so we had a lot of them. We had a lot of people catching a lot of stuff. And then we got to end it with some red meat here.
Muddy Bag Yo, look at that buck. I hope you get him.
Yeah.
I hope you get him. That is a stud of a buck.
And then the one Grant posted up there, very nice.
Yeah, that's a stud too, right there in the left.
Yep.
Yeah, those are some nice bucks.
So we're getting some geese already.
It's funny at night, you'll be going down a road, like a back road somewhere or whatever, and you'll see like the biggest buck you've ever seen in your life jump out in front of you. You've never seen it at your stand. You've never seen it come across you, but you'll see it run out in front of you, and you're just like, it's that moment of contemplation. It's like, do I do this?
What's funny is that's a shared moment. Like there's not a single person here who hasn't run across that.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh, I might just take it.
It's right alongside the car, just a left-hand swerve.
Yeah. All I got to do is swing that door open.
All right. Photo of the week.
That is it, guys. Yeah, we are running late, so we're going to make this quick. It is time for us to figure out who is going to be our photographer of the week. And our options this week are going to be the ones who are going to be joining our 2024 Wall of Fame here. Sienna, Gunpoint Llama, and G Llama.
All right.
Golly, that's tough.
Yep, we got some good ones, man. And so anybody who has any complaints about, like, there's some other good catches in the server who didn't make the board this week, the reason why they are not up here right now is because several of these guys set server records, and as long as they keep those server records, they are automatically going to be on the 2024 Wall of Fame. So we're giving these guys a chance to get on there with a non-server record. So let me get a pen.
All right, all cool. Gunpoints is a little blurry. C, the head's not there. G Llama. So that's why I went with A.
I'm gonna be honest. That fish looking at me, it's doing something to me right now. So the Sierra, I think, is the one I'm going with.
That's where I voted. A. Put your votes in, folks. Make them count. Got 2 A's and 2 B's. Got more people than that on here. Come on now, folks.
I'm going to go for my boy.
Now, B is nice. B's nice. It looks...
Yeah. Big.
I like C because that's that weird shark. But if he was...
I desperately want to see G Llama on the board. The stuff that he catches is just cool. And he's trying. You can tell he's trying to get that photo. Like, he's selling a hell of an experience in that photograph.
Yeah.
It's just like you're just missing little elements on it for me.
Yeah, like I mean, like if he had put that, if G Llama had put that fish like facing, like that terrifying face that it has on that fish, like straight to the camera, and then like the back slid out on the back of the camera, I would 100%.
Yeah. All right, folks, you got to vote. We got 3 A's, we got 3 B's, and we got 1 C.
Not gonna make me do that. Or Chris, did you cast your vote? Didn't you?
Yeah. I'm A because that fish is looking into my soul, and I can't look away.
You're an A. Okay, you hadn't cast it in the chat though. I'm gonna put it in there for you. It's okay. I got it here.
Okay.
Put it in there. So right now it's A winning.
Here's the weird thing. I signed up for the chat before we started this, and the chat went blank for me. I can't see any of the chat.
Oh, yeah. I had you banned a while back. It's a whole thing.
That's how I figured.
All right, guys, I think that is it. We are going to have to call it.
It's official.
It is official. Sienna, congratulations. You got yourself a spot on the 2024 Wall of Fame, and you are our photographer of the week, and well-deserved. That is an excellent photo. You got yourself a great catch. Also, a big pat on the back to our winners of the Weekly Waitlister Award. That is Big Hit Savage, Professional Lure Loser, Brown Trout Professional, Gone Fishing, EVR, Marmot of Malfeasance, Wild Japan, Hondo, and Pug Attack. And I am never taking another week off again because I am so tired of reading so many names and so many winners.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. Really appreciate y'all doing everything. I'm afraid we have to make a quick exit here. I've got a few things I have to take care of, so I'm going to have all the posts and everything necessary. I'm going to be a little bit late on that, but I will have that taken care of as soon as I get done with a few things here. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out tonight. Chris, really appreciate you coming and doing this stream with us, sir. Check him out. There's a link to everybody's channels in the description of the video down below. Go out there and go do something amazing this weekend. We look forward to seeing everything that you have for us next week when we do this all over again. And you have a wonderful week.
Thank y'all very much. Thank you. We'll see y'all later.
Night, guys.